everyone, thank you for tuning in. I'm your instructor Joy. Let me first play a tune for you. Now a second tune. Now one last one. Now I just played three different tunes. First one was Bruch Violin Concerto on the second theme. Second one was Handel piece, sometimes known as chorus from Judas Maccabeus, from which is Instructor Book 2, number 1, or as a Handel Adagio. They're both correct. And the last one was Dounis, technical exercises, chapter 2, when it comes to horizontal movement of the left hand technique, number 4 on the A string. Thank you very much for tuning in. We started with an unusually longer introduction with 3 different pieces because I thought these 3 are great examples and technical pieces that you can work on when it comes to stubborn second finger. At first we learn hand position something like this, between 1 and 2 are far away. But as soon as we get any more advanced, I mean pretty much relatively within the first year, we have to learn to squeeze or to bring the second finger beside 1. And that's when a lot of violins have trouble. We sometimes try to forcefully practice and somehow we thought we put it together, but by the time we place the third finger, the second finger gets slided and it is no longer beside the 1, but it's somewhat in between. Now, we forcefully practice. We practice a lot by repetition. But by the time when you play 4th finger, somehow it gets stretched again. It's no more beside 1, but somehow in between 2 and 3. This is a very common problem for many violinists, and you're not alone. It's normal because the second finger is the longest finger, therefore it just have a hard time to keep up with the same length as the other fingers. That's first one. And also the thumb is positioned a certain way that you naturally support the first finger a little more, therefore you put a lot more weight in the first finger, and by the time you try to play 4th finger, then you're trying to support your 4th finger by moving the support of the left hand towards the pinky, and somehow it has hard time to keep the second finger beside 1. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of things that you can practice. So now that was the example that I was showing it. When you do this Bruch concerto here, we're in the third position. Here we have to play. First, the second finger should be beside the 3, then it gets beside 1. Here. Then beside 1 again. And that's 1, 1. And now the Handel piece was second finger was beside 3. Then when you go to the theme, second finger now has to be beside 1. Now, there's a lot of great studies, but what I showed you was a Dounis, basic technical exercises. And there's 3 chapters. First 2 chapters are for the left hand. The chapter 3 is for the right hand. Now this is for chapter 2 because he defines left hand as a dropping vertical movement and horizontal sliding motion or lateral motion, he says. And that's one of the second chapter of the lateral motion. Now here we have to understand, even though we're playing the notes with a fingertip, it is not just fingertip that makes a note. If I move my fingertip like this, I'm using only the muscle of the finger. which is better than nothing, but this is very limited, very weak, and that's why it's hard to control. Now try to move your any finger, let's say the index finger, not just with a fingertip, but try to move it within the hand, almost coming from here, and then you will soon see you have much more strength to the fingertip. Try to do something with the middle finger. Instead of just pressing the fingertip, just try to have the finger motion coming within your hand, meaning from the palm and even from the forearm. You will soon see you have much more support. Now on top of that, now try to tilt or move your hand left and right a bit to support for a certain finger. Let's say index finger. I'm now moving my first finger, index finger, from the hand, not just fingertip, and I'm tilting my hand slightly, first finger, and you will feel it. The fingertip has much more strength and much more control. Now pinky, I'm going to move my finger, not just fingertip, but from the hand, within the hand, supporting it, and I'm going to turn my hand towards pinky. And you will soon see your pinky doesn't feel that weak or so short. You could even feel it a bit longer. And that's what we're missing when you're working on difficult left hand, any left hand technique, but especially when it comes second finger being sometimes beside 3 or sometimes 1. Because we have to understand, even though it's within the same position, whether it's the first position or third position, the left hand, while keeping in left hand frame, you support different fingers. For example, if I have my second finger beside 1, my hand positions are a little more supported towards the first finger, so that I squeeze my second finger beside first finger. But if I want to bring my second finger beside 3, do you see my hand was not only slightly turned, but also my support is more towards a 3 or almost 4. Again, when I place my second finger beside 1, not only my hand got tilted or turned slightly towards 1, but also I'm supporting my hand, my left hand is supporting more first finger. Versus when I bring my second finger beside 3, this is how my left hand look. I'm exaggerating a bit to show you the differences, but actually the changes are a little more subtle. Yeah. So second finger beside 1, second finger beside 3, and you need to understand that one. That's the very first thing. And now second one. The most common mistake when it comes to any flexible finger placement is when the hand is too high and the finger is not connected to the motion of the arm. Meaning you can try to work try to move your fingertip from your hand or even from your forearm, but if the motion has to get delivered to the fingertip, if you're holding your if your left hand is a bit too tall like this and your fingers are too much left, what actually end up doing is you're carrying this motion of the forearm or hand directly onto your fingerboard. Therefore, the motion or the support it was coming from your left hand, it does not get delivered to the fingertip. It's easier when you lower your hand slightly, which naturally will keep your wrist a bit straighter, and then you can carry the movement or the support of your hand directly to the fingertip. And then try to do the one. Now support this time, try to keep 1 and 4 and 3 at the same time, just like we practice the second finger. Now try to place the second finger beside 3 and see if you can turn your hand towards the pinky and see if you can try to support almost towards a 3 and 4. Now we're going to move our second finger beside 1. This time, not only we're turning our hand towards index finger, and also we're shifting or we're moving the support from the third finger towards the first finger. Again. Now this is when this Dounis exercise, chapter 2, number 4, comes very, very handy. So now, even though the music is printed with a 1 bow per measure, I like to do 4 notes in 1 bow because it's not about how fast you play, but rather learning the flexible, reliable left hand frame. So it goes like this. Now you have left hand frame. Now we're gonna go second finger low first, supporting 1. Now this time towards a 3. Again low, meaning second finger beside 1. Again. Then lower again. this one with the all strings. This may be very simple practice, but it shows your left hand how to behave, how one should be keep it flexible within the same position. You could practice similar way in the third position or any other position to train your all fingers flexible, especially second finger. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching and hope to see you again. Bye bye.